And we are now live with Miss Lacey Ott.
Hey guys.
Hey Lacey.
Welcome to the new LevelUp video cast. Lacey is the owner of Stryking Boutique.
Yes.
So when did you establish Stryking Boutique?
So Stryking Boutique actually opened, the grand opening was Black Friday.
Okay.
But we kind of formed our LLC to say, if you want to say our official date of establishment was October 23rd. It was a very quick process. We actually bought a building here in town at 701 Scalp Avenue, and we actually closed on the building the Monday before Halloween.
Okay.
And we opened on Black Friday. So if you kind of see that fast turnaround time.
That's quick.
Yeah, it was quick. And I kind of feel like when you're going to do anything big like that, people said to me, like, why'd you do it so fast? And I feel like opening a business, anything that you do, you kind of have to rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to feel 100% ready.
Yep.
You're never going to feel like it's the perfect time to do something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's never going to be that perfect situation. So you just kind of got to rip the Band-Aid off and go for it. And that's what I did.
Trial by fire, pretty much.
Yes, for sure.
This is your new venture, right?
This is it. This is me. This is my life. I'm Stryking Boutique.
Yeah.
Did you intend to open up on Black Friday?
Yeah, well, so at the beginning I didn't promote the exact date because it's like if you don't open when you say you're going to from the beginning, then you're already failing. The public's perception of something.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind and in conversations with my husband and the people that we were working with to get the building ready, it was okay. Let's open on Black Friday, and then we announced it about 2 weeks before that we were going to open on Black Friday. It would be the day, and it just kind of worked out that way.
Yeah.
When we were looking at when we closed on the building, we got to get this done on Black Friday. How cool was it to open a retail business on the biggest retail day of the year?
Yeah, honestly, that's really smart. That probably got you some good foot traffic or good initial day.
And then Small Business Saturday is the day after Black Friday.
Okay.
So if you're going to open a small business that's a retail business, you have Black Friday and then
So you're checking the boxes right now.
Yeah.
Now, we were talking, you've got some pretty interesting stuff planned for Valentine's Day.
Yeah. So, we have two different events. I mean, because Valentine's Day is a big shopping day, or bigger shopping day than people probably think it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Guys are out there shopping.
In case you don't know what Lacey sells, it's obviously women's clothes. So she's,
yes.
So Lacey is just a wonderful stylist, and I've just heard rave reviews. Amy Bradley down at the chamber.
Yeah.
She said that she stopped and she's like, I could just walk in there every day and just Lacey could pretty much just pick out my wardrobe.
Now, it's just not any women's clothing. It's a specific type, right? More trendy.
We have a little bit of everything, and that was kind of the point because I truly believe that women, none of us are a cookie cutter. We're all a little bit different. Everyone, some people, they are more comfortable in sweatshirts, but I'm going to tell you how to cute a sweatshirt in Johnstown.
Yeah.
And then there's people that want, I have clothes with feathers on them, like shirts with feathers, and there's people that want that stuff. So we have a little bit for everyone, but the difference is it's not something that you're going to find when you walk into local department stores and that sort of thing. It's, when you go on vacation and if you have a girlfriend or your wife or your sister, whoever finds these little shops that they like to shop at, that's kind of what you're getting here in Johnstown. So we brought that, whether it's a boutique in New York City, a boutique in, that you go to at the beach or down south somewhere, but we kind of brought that feeling to Johnstown.
Right. So would you say it's more trendy business, or is it kind of, so what's your age demo for
this? So that's also interesting. So if you believe it, I would say, I have high school kids that work for me and then that come in and shop. So we do have stuff for that age group. And then my 96-year-old grandma wears our clothes.
Nice.
So I kind of, like I said, I have a little bit of something for everyone. And there's obviously pieces that are for younger and there's pieces that are for older people. But that we kind of work with you and find something that you're comfortable in. And you can take one shirt and wear it multiple different ways. It kind of just depends on how you style it and what you pair it with. And that's what we're there to help you with.
Right.
But that's kind of the selling point of a boutique like that. You can go in and pick what you would like. It's the point is the experience that you go in and really see different types and the variety and be satisfied. Right?
Yeah. Have you ever heard the saying when people come for the content, but they stay for the culture?
Right? Yeah.
So if you look at anywhere that you go or any group or organization that you may join, you may come for a certain purpose, but why are you going to stay? It's for the culture and the environment that's around you. And that's kind of what we tried to do with the boutique is we want you to come in because you want to look for clothes, but we want you to stay and continue to return because of the culture the experience, the vibe, if you would say,
Right.
that you're going to get while you're there shopping. And that's what we've done, I think, a pretty good job of creating, because you kind of don't feel like you're in Johnstown per se.
Yeah.
You know, it might be something you feel like you step into a bigger city. When you walk in the doors, there's music playing, there's cute decor, there's clothes, and everything's just a little bit different. It's a very trendy feel when you're in there, and a unique feel, but also very welcoming, because that's the other thing. There's a lot of women that absolutely hate shopping because they hate trying on clothes. So they hate going in there, like, you know, you hear people say, oh, I hate trying on jeans. We want to try to, like, ease that a little bit and make you feel comfortable. We'll help you through the process, tell you what looks good. And I also try to buy comfortable clothes as well. Like, our jeans are super comfortable, and that's why a lot of people come in and try them and continue to come back, is what I've noticed so far. So we try to make that experience enjoyable, not stressful, as many people take it. Like, I like to shop, so I never had the stressful shopping experience. But my mom, on the other hand, hates shopping. So she, like, had that stressful experience where she never wanted to try anything on or anything like that. So there's people that are, you know, one way or the other. So we try to really eliminate that and create a great culture that will keep people coming back.
That's awesome.
So, how do you source product? Because that's usually one of the trickiest bits of this whole thing.
You know, I wish I could. You know, I wish I could buy my clothes from someone here in Johnstown that makes them. It's kind of just not possible. You know, so for me, what I had to do is we have markets that you can shop at in the fashion districts. There's one in Atlanta. I'm actually going to Las Vegas on Tuesday and shopping their magic. And that's where all the vendors come, and most of them are from LA. There's some in New York. They come, they set up shop there for a few days. They show their samples. So there's like one shirt, one size, you know, one dress, one size of everything that they're going to be launching in the spring and summer, some of the stuff that they have right now, and you get to shop it in person, which I love, because that's how you get a feel for the designers. So that was important to me at the beginning. I didn't want to go online, because you can go online and order from all these people, but not know who I'm ordering for. But here I got to meet the people, feel the quality of the clothing, try some things on, check out the fit. So I had a really good, you know, step ahead of the game to when I ordered all my clothes. And then when you feel comfortable, you continue to order from them online. Yeah.
You get a feel for the designer.
Yeah, you get comfortable with them, and, you know, because some things look great. Well, I'm sure you guys have done it. Or if something looks great, then you order and it comes from China, and it's like either 2 sizes smaller. Or
I'll get a triple XL, and it'll be like a baby shirt on me.
Exactly.
I'm like, I swear, I bought this like 3 sizes larger than what.
Exactly.
I have the worst proportions shop for. I'm tall and relatively skinny. So it's terrible.
Yeah, so it's hard to do that sort of stuff, not knowing who you're ordering clothes from and what you're getting. So that's what's cool about going out and doing it in that sort of environment, in that atmosphere. Because now you know. I don't like the guessing game.
I feel like it's very important to hold it in your hand, kind of get material and all that stuff.
It is. You want to know, like, the quality of stuff, and then once you get comfortable with a designer, you come to recognize that their clothes are that quality throughout. You know.
Right. Yeah.
Let me go back to circle back around the culture, because you have a really cool thing I want to touch on that kind of ties into that. So tell us about the sip and shop. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we do sip and shops on Sundays. Sundays we're technically closed except for private events. And those are the private events that we do. And it's very similar to when you see, you know, people that do those multi-level marketing parties and, you know, Tupperware parties, makeup parties, whatever they may be. But we're kind of taking this into a girls' day out on a Sunday. So what you do is, if you're the host of the party, you get a $25 store credit off the bat for having the party. You invite your friends to the party. Everyone that comes gets 10% off. You get 2 hours of shopping, personalized shopping with myself and one of the other workers at Stryking, and help you find outfits. We make the experience pretty good for you. We also have mimosas there, fruit and some snacks. So it's a nice way to have a girls' night out and a fun thing to do on Sundays. It's funny because when I first decided to do it, I was only going to do it on Sundays from 11 to 1. But we had such interest that I do it all day Sunday. So I've been like 11 to 1, 1:30 to 3:30, 5 to 7, you know, whatever.
I would imagine that's a pretty big money maker then, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. And the nice thing about the right now is it's cold out certain times. You know, we've had a couple slow days when the weather's cold. The weather does affect. If you would ask anyone that owns a restaurant, whatever it may be. I mean, I used to work in the restaurant world in high school and college, and if it was snowing out, no one walked through the doors. So this is a nice way to supplement that and, you know, get a bunch of people through the door for 2 hours. You know, in 2 hours you can have 20 people right there shopping, which in a normal sense would be a good day for a small boutique.
Yeah, I feel like it does a couple of important things. First off, it gives some people some things to do when it's cold out and it's not nice, like there's not much to do about it. Second is that those people that you touched on that might not necessarily like shopping, they now can come in and enjoy a trip and enjoy, hanging out with other people and shopping around at the same time. So it kind of does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, for sure. And it's cool because I've seen people that wanted to do it to book events and have fun with it. So I have a group coming in this Sunday. It's actually Robin Higgins from the Cuddles from Kids Foundation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's bringing a group of people and they're kind of doing this a pre-Super Bowl thing. So she has a bunch of people coming in before the Super Bowl and they're shopping and doing that. The Stiletto Network.
So they all look fly.
Yeah.
All look fly going to the Super Bowl party.
They're going to be the best dressed people in town at the Super Bowl party. And then like Eileen Graham with the Stiletto Network, she's having a group coming in. I have someone else coming in that their 50th birthday is that Monday, so they're doing this on Sunday with all their friends. So there's just different reasons that people would do it. This past weekend, I had people that just wanted to do it to hang out with their friends. So it's there's different reasons and different ways, and we'll accommodate to everything. And that's the cool thing about being a small business in this town. It's not like if you call me and say like, hey, I want to do it as a surprise birthday party for your birthday, we can do it however you want. Or I'm going to do it for my daughter's sweet 16. Yeah, sure, we'll figure it out. Like, let's make it work. And that's one thing that we're really open to, is the ideas and, making it, like, accommodate each person.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
So tell us about how you decide what kind of clothing to include in the boutique, because I thought that was interesting when we were talking off camera that you kind of let your personality shine through the clothes. So how do you go about doing that?
So I'll take you back to kind of Atlanta. So when I walked into Atlanta for this market to buy, never done anything like this before. My background, I've kind of done a little bit of everything from TV to marketing, PR, fundraising. My last was in the pharmaceutical world. I did sales, but then at the end I was training and I was managing the sales reps. So I kind of had no retail experience per se. So I really didn't know what to expect when I walked into Atlanta. And it's actually 13 floors of different people set up and different vendors set up. So if you can imagine walking in and how overwhelming it is, you look up and you see literally 13 floors of stores. And, if you were just shopping for yourself, it'd be like, yes, this is fun, this is awesome. So at first when I was walking into like my first two places.
Like shopping on steroids.
Yeah, it totally is. But when I was walking into the first two places, I was thinking way too much about other people, in a sense. So I was like, okay, well, I think, like, my friend, this one likes this sort of stuff, and this one likes this sort of stuff. And I was losing myself in the process. And I remember walking out of the first place, and there was, like, this girl helping me, and I bought clothes, and I don't even know if I liked the clothes I just bought. Like, what did I just do? And I stood there and thought for a while, and I think any venture that you do, what makes it the best is your personal touch on it.
Right.
So when I went and shopped the rest of the day, I gave it more of, I might not wear that, but I still think it's really cute. You know what I mean? So I didn't worry as much about, would people buy this or do they like this? So if I liked it, it felt like, okay, I could see other people wearing it, even if I wouldn't wear it.
But it's also keeping an ideal client in mind, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm hearing. So it's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's not. I would say, if anything, it's probably what's made us successful.
Right.
Because I first was trying to buy things, I think, maybe let's put it this way, that you would find when you walked into TJ Maxx.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And that's not that's not a competition for me. Like TJ Maxx, Boss Culture, that's not really my competition per se. Like, that's a whole different, avenue of, if you want to go in and find, shop through shelves of clothes and find a discount designer outfit, cool. That's great. I mean, I did it for years. There's nothing wrong with it. Right,
no. I still do.
I think, I think that was what I was trying to do at the beginning, was to find clothes that were kind of like that. And then when I stepped aside and said, like, wait, what's missing here? What's missing in this town? And when I went to fill the need of what I wanted, and when I traveled all the time for work, what I was shopping for, that seemed to have the success. Because it's stuff that you're not going to find at other places. So once I stayed true to myself and to what I thought this area needed, I had a lot more fun and a lot more success shopping, per se.
It's interesting. Yeah, that's kind of tying everything together. And for me, I just, I'm working on a project right now where we're sourcing, and that's so. Like, how did you find out about these different clothing, the vendors out in?
Yeah, so that's what the market's nice for. Like, when you go to a market like this, like, these markets are well known for that, and these are where these vendors come and shop. So it really was, before I went through the list of the vendors, I mean, there was 300 or 400 vendors, I went through the list of them and started to go on to their websites and look at their stuff, so I had an idea of where I wanted to shop. We kind of had to have a game plan. There's a lot of places.
Right.
But, I mean, that was the nice part of that you didn't have to go out and, just randomly pick places and people and say, hey, let's see how this works.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, let's talk about your background a little bit. Because, like you said, you weren't really in retail.
No, I never even had a job when I was 16 years old working at the mall or anything.
Yeah.
What, Hollister? I think that was there when we were 16. Yeah, I never worked at Hollister, American Eagle, or anything like that. No.
Right. But you found yourself in the retail game. But so your background, Lacey and I have known each other for 11 years. Well, no, it's been longer than we've known each other
since high school.
Yeah. We've worked professionally 10 years?
Yes, probably, yeah.
We've known each other for a week.
Yeah, we've known each other for a week. Yeah, Panera. I didn't even know what he looked like.
Yeah. Just look for the skyscraper.
Yeah.
He's really tall.
See, that's always how I describe myself, as a tall guy.
I'll be like, I'm the skyscraper that walks in.
But yeah, so my background, I had no retail experience whatsoever. I actually worked at Big Dogz in Johnstown when we first opened. That was my first real job.
Just a little restaurant.
Yeah, little restaurant, bar and grill. No experience there either. I said, what do I do when you eat? The owner handed me the menus and walk up to the table and ask them what they wanted to drink. I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty self-explanatory.
Right.
So yeah, I had no experience after that. I graduated college, worked at WTAJ.
College from where?
Pitt, Johnstown, and then I have a master's degree from Duquesne. But I worked at WJCTV, did on-air promotion, so I advertised the website. I was the log on to WJCTV.com girl. That's what I said all the time. My commercials were on all the time, probably a little tit too much.
I recall.
And then I worked at Liver Research Institute and Liver Medical Center. I was the director of corporate advancement there. So I did marketing, advertising, fundraising, PR. And then I got into the pharmaceutical world, and I was a sales rep and kind of worked my way up in corporate America. I was specialty sales, and I was a field sales trainer, and then I was a district manager and a sales trainer for antipsychotic disease state. So I kind of did a little bit of everything, and I think once you get to the point in corporate America that you're running a territory and a business and reps, that you're running your business, you're running it like it's your own business. I clearly didn't own the business, and I wasn't the CEO.
Except for somebody, for you making money for somebody else.
Yeah, you're making it for someone else, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I actually thought about that a lot. I'm like, I'm running this as a business and treating this like it's my own business, but at the end of the day, I'm just a number to someone else.
Right.
So I always had that kind of in the back of my mind, and I always wanted to own some sort of business, but, I love fashion, I love clothes. I saw also, too, there was a huge unmet need in this area. You see larger department stores closing, and I think what happened was years ago, these large department stores came in, they closed down the little mom and pop shops that you would see everywhere. Even bigger restaurants, like chain restaurants, close down smaller restaurants. But now you see these bigger places closing down. It's actually creating a great opportunity for anyone that wants to become an entrepreneur, whether it's, owning a restaurant, a retail store,
Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Toys R Us.
Small toy store,
Yeah, that's a national chain gone.
Yeah.
Shame too. Fond memories walking through Toys R
Us.
I know.
How fun was that to go shopping and go look at stuff? Yeah. So there was definitely a need for it as well. And it was funny because before, when I was trying to start to open the business and I left the pharmaceutical world, I was burnt out, I was done, I was sick of the way we had to treat people. When I left that industry, I took some time off and I stayed at home with my son, and I would go to TJ Maxx in the middle of the day, and the place would be packed. And I think I mentioned this to you, I would go to Panera and Starbucks, and there'd be lines out the door. So there's definitely people that want to do things and people that want to spend money in this town and get out and do things. It's just that there needs to be more to do.
Right.
And that you see that there's people all opening these. So now the thing is how do we get people out to support all these things that are opening?
Well, and not everybody wants to hang out at a bar. So why not hang out at a clothing store?
Clothing store. I mean, if you look around town, there's tons of different things to do. Cold tubing at different places like that. So now there's so many different things.
World War III paintball.
So there's so many different things opening. It's getting people out to do it. So I kind of saw that opportunity, and I thought, let's capitalize on it. And everyone, my favorite thing, and I think we've talked about this even, was when people come in and say, Good luck to you.
The
Like.
doubters.
Well, yeah, like I
Oh
signed.
my God.
I feel like I signed I'm like, are you talking to me?
It's
Like
like
I signed a death wish here. Like what's
Dude,
happening?
it's
Yeah.
funny you
Last-
mentioned that. Alan Higby, who we interviewed last time, he posted on Facebook about he wanted some feedback for the market, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you just saw comment after comment of good luck, good luck, good luck. And I was thinking about our conversation.
Yeah.
Just like, no,
Yeah,
we don't
and-
need that.
Right.
We need you to come out and support
Yeah,
the business.
My 80-hour week doesn't have
No.
time for
Oh,
love.
man.
Yeah, no, and it was funny that people said that, and I think that's just part of that there is a risk in this town, maybe a bigger risk than other places. Absolutely, I will agree with that there might be a bigger risk to open a business in other places.
There needs to be a catalyst.
Yeah, and there needs to be people, and I think there is a good core group of people that you're starting to see that are standing up and saying like, no, I'm going to do things locally. I'm going to support these local things. I'm going to get out and do it instead of sitting back and complaining about it. And the more people we can get on that bandwagon, so to say, I think the more success this town's going to have, and entrepreneurs in this town are going to have, and the more people are going to stay because there are things to do.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need to move away to technically find things to do.
No, absolutely. And I think that's a problem that a lot of small towns are having.
Yeah.
And I think that, to your point, where these Sears closed, but so now these smaller shops are fulfilling more of a social need than a much larger straight up purchasing need.
Yeah.
You're seeing the same thing happen in the liquor industry.
Mm-hmm.
All of these small batch distilleries are popping up.
Mm-hmm.
Same, and that's a trend that came after the micro brews. But these boutique shops like you have are just growing.
And there's something to be said. I think I love Amazon. Jeff is a brilliant man, and I think that there's something to be said about convenience. But I also think back to the experience thing. There's something to be said about the experience.
Yeah.
There's still people that want that experience. Can you order wine and get it delivered to your house every single month?
Yeah.
Absolutely, you can. But what if you go to a winery, a locally owned winery, and go and sample it with your friends or your family, and go there and buy that? That's an experience, and that's the same thing with shopping. And that like you can order anything you want online. You come on, you try it home in front of the mirror. Maybe you ask your husband, "Okay, does this look okay?" He's not even paying attention. Half the stuff fits, half of it doesn't. You have to ship it back. If you have an event that you're going to, you can't find anything. What do you do? Now you're kind of stuck. So I think that there is a lot to be said about the experience. So while there's the convenience of online, and I don't think that's ever going to go anywhere, I think it's going to continue to grow. I think that you need to more promote the experience that you're giving people, and if you focus more on that, like, am I going to be able to, if you come into the boutique, you're getting that experience rather than it just coming to your house, which eventually we're going to be shipping, so people outside of Johnstown are going to be able to get it, which is awesome. So we're going to capitalize on that, but I still want to bring something to this town, because that's why I did a brick and mortar location first, rather than just doing online. Because a lot of people said, well, why don't you just save your money and order it all and ship it from your house? But I wanted to bring something back to Johnstown, and I also wanted to give the experience and have a strong brick and mortar location to kind of build off of, generate interest off of, which we've had, because we had a lot of people that are like, when are you going to start to ship? When are you going to start to ship? So our website's going to launch April 1st, and it's going to be at a different, like our online stuff's going to be at a different location. So we're going to need more employees, and the goal is to eventually create it as, this is a big warehouse that you're going to work at. We're going to have shippers, we're going to have people to work the websites, we're going to have photographers working for us, eventually grow with local employed people then working at it is the ultimate goal.
Right.
Why don't you touch on that for a second? Why is that important to bring something back to Johnstown?
Well, when I grew up here, I'm raising a family here. My son's 4 years old, and he's going to grow up here. And I think it's important to pull back in. And, I think I told you this story too, Ethan, but I very rarely post anything on Facebook but my kid or clothes now. Like, you never see anything but my kid or clothes. And I saw a lot of people back around Thunder in the Valley, complaining about things, complaining about restaurants, and I kind of sat back and thought, like, wow, if you actually had to go out of your way to post something bad about something, but did you do anything about it first? Like, did you get involved? Did you call the business owner? And most business owners, small business owners, are going to fix the problem before it becomes a public problem.
Right.
So, for example, if you're going to call someone, they're going to want to fix it before
yeah.
you go on and bash them and give them a bad review. Give them a chance.
Yeah.
It's a small, locally owned business. So it's important, I think, to pour back into our community. And I don't want to be one of the people that are, raising someone here and complaining about, oh, there's nothing to do. Well, step up, get involved, do something. Right. Coach a kids team, volunteer somewhere, join a group, open a business, whatever it is. And you don't have to be the one that opens the business. Support local businesses or go out and get involved in things. There's many ways to do it. And that's kind of why I wanted to start the boutique and as a brick and mortar location and pour back into the area. So, I'm kind of a person of my word in a sense there, to pour back into the community. Because the more people that pour into the community, the more people that are going to stay, the more people are going to get involved, and that's how we're going to eventually grow.
Yeah, amen to that. Yeah, that's a lot. We've had this discussion and getting involved. Ethan and I are very involved with the young professionals in the area. We're getting ready to kind of link up with the chamber to have a bigger impact in the community. So,
I think the key is that we're trying to get stuff done. Like the problem is that there are too many people complaining and not doing something about it. In the end, people actually don't want to take the time to complain. Actually, realize that you can complain all you want, but in the end, it's just going to be complaining unless you get out coffee butt and actually start doing something. You got to make an impact. You got to make a change at some point. So
and we talked a lot about the factor of trust in this town. This town is built a lot on trust.
And touch on that. That's
because
great.
Because if you look back, what happened in this town? There was a lot of trust broken.
Yeah.
People trusted a lot of industry. Yeah, and they did. They really did. I mean, look back to what this used to be back even when my parents were growing up here compared to what it is now. So this area is definitely built on trust. Because I said, why is it that when a larger, corporate type business, chain restaurant, KFC comes into town, there's lines. I mean, literally the lines were down to the boutique. Like, no joke. Like, that's how long, it was crazy. But what is it? KFC's already established trust.
Right.
They're a well-known brand that's already established that trust with people. So people have a thing when they go there, they trust that they're going to get good food.
Right.
Rather than when a new local business opens up, there's that little factor of trust. So I think there's some way, like, all of us as, entrepreneurs and people that own business can, say, listen, trust us. We're here to make it better. You need to come out and support it. But I think that is a big problem with this area. There was a lot of people that put a lot of trust into what was happening, and, their lives were changed, and you see it multiple different times. And I think that's why places like Panera, Starbucks, KFC, why do they have lines everywhere? It doesn't even make sense. Why? And then there's other
if Starbucks had a drive-through here, I guarantee that there would be.
Oh, yeah.
And there's great locally owned coffee shops and stuff like that that you can go to as well. But they've already gained that trust, and I think that's one of the things that as people that want to be involved in this community is got to establish the trust with the community again and kind of show it. And but the community also has to give a little bit of break and say, okay, I'm gonna come out and support and help earn that trust with you.
Right. Yeah, small business Saturdays, and piggybacking that off of your success from Black Friday. So that's great ways to ramp up.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. Trust. I like the way you describe it. I used to call it this area very skeptical, but when you actually think about the root cause of it, it's because they don't trust. They've been screwed so many times. This community's been screwed so many times. I understand where it comes from, but what they need to understand, frankly, what the market needs to understand, what small business owners need to understand is you need that trust. How are you expecting? Like, KFC wasn't an instant trusted brand.
No.
Eventually they got to it, but you have to build it up. How are small businesses supposed to do that unless they have the trust, or at least the openness to allow trust to happen? It's always earned, but if you don't even get a chance to earn your trust,
it needs to be a two-way street. It needs to be a two-way street between the consumer and the people of this town and the business owners to kind of say, listen, we're gonna work on this together, and we're gonna get it out there.
I tell people, I own a marketing company. They almost want to run away, just shut down and about face and then take off from me.
You think you have it down? I'm a financial planner, man.
They think you're both asking for their money in
Yeah.
shape or form.
Yeah. By the way, we make zero money from doing this show. So
Yeah.
you know, and this is just us. You know,
It's cool.
our social responsibility essentially to help out this area.
I think it's important. You know, somebody's got to talk about these things. Somebody's got to talk to people like you. Somebody's got to give them, you know, a voice that isn't necessarily given right now.
Yeah. And I'm trying to do a lot of that through YPA, young professionals, to bring them in. So I'll have to get you involved.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I saw you inviting me to like the things. I figured
we're this Friday we're having our first Friday helping hour. So first Friday of every month we do a helping hour where it's actually 2 hours technically, but we collect donations. So this past January we did Jacket January where we just did a coat drive for people around here. It gets cold. I mean, tomorrow's supposed to be -40 with a wind chill. So imagine how many people are walking around not wearing not wearing coats, clothes. That would be a much larger problem.
Yeah.
But this coming Friday, we're going to be at TAP 814 collecting hygiene products, socks, undergarments for the Women's Help Center.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and just kind of get together, and if you want to have a drink, have a drink. If you don't, that's fine too. Whatever you're into, whatever your sauce is, we'll. And then the following month, so in March, we're going to be out in Evansburg at Pour On Center. So, and then we're going to be promoting a lot of different things with the chamber. Kind of giving us a bigger sounding board. I was at the board meeting last week, and they were just thrilled to have that kind of energy. Back
And
into the
it's
group.
great to partner together and to be able to give back. And I think if the more people like the chamber and then small businesses that can partner with them, the better off it is. And I said that at the beginning, like when I first opened Stryking.
Yeah.
When you open a business and you support that business, then ultimately the trickle down effect is you're supporting more local businesses in the area. Because who plows my driveway? Who does my accounting?
Yep.
Who's going to do my website? Who designs my t-shirts? Who made my logo? Who prints my t-shirts? Like you look at all those little things, and that all starts to add up. Where do I get my insurance? From someone local. So all those things add up. It's one trickle down effect of everything. And at the end of I always say this too. At the end of the day, if you go out to the meet Eric's and ball field this summer and you look at these little kids playing sports, what names are on the back of the shirts? Small business owners, small businesses. They're the ones supporting and giving back too to those sort of events. When you go to the Girls Night Out fundraiser here in town, who do you see mostly? I mean, granted, there's some bigger organizations, but a lot of the times it's the smaller businesses that really step up to the plate and help people out in the community. So, when you partner with people, whether it's for things that you're doing with YP or the chamber, it's helping other people in return. And I think that's so important to remember when you have that choice too.
Yeah.
Like if I have the choice, like I said, I wish I could get clothes from people in Johnstown. I really wish I could. It's just not. That's the one part of my business that's not feasible.
I know a couple people. I know some designers.
Yeah,
in the
which
area,
would be great, and I would love to partner with them in certain aspects that I could. But that's the one aspect that's hard. So when you're going out and you're supporting different people, you know that you're supporting other businesses at the same time, and that's an important factor.
It's a trickle, definitely a trickle effect. So, go out and support your local small businesses.
Yes.
Quit shaking the table.
Free
FIFO
I'm spinning, so if anyone sees this video, you should give me a standard chair. This is what my son looks like when I take him anywhere. There's a chair on.
You're spinning chairs.
Yeah.
At least you're not sitting there going, just tapping the table.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they get the nervous taking those.
I have a friend that shakes her leg all the time. You see those people that are like go up and down.
That's me after to make coffee.
But I don't know what happened.
I'm glad you lost your shakes. Those people, they annoy me on those horrible charts. Like when you're sitting in the pew shaking, you're like, why is he shaking right now?
Yeah.
Why
is the entire bench?
You shouldn't get mad. I'll pray for you.
I'll pray for you and your shakes.
Hopefully it's not worse. Lacey, let me ask you this question. What would you say is your biggest challenge moving forward for you in your boutique and that you can see that you can punch on the rise?
I would say like the foreseeable future, the challenge is what any new business would face.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the beginning, there's buzz around the business, you get really busy, and then it's just not that falling off. It's how do you capitalize on that momentum and continue to grow, rather than it be, you know, 2 or 3 months of your grand opening and everyone wants to stop in and then not come back in. And that's the one cool thing about what I'm doing with the boutique itself. It's even going to be different than the website. Our inventory at the boutique changes every 2 to 3 days. So within a week to 2 weeks, 40 to 70% of the store is going to look different than it did before. So, you know, when you walk into a department store, sometimes you see the same thing like 2 months in a row, like nothing changes, maybe one shirt on the wall changes. So that's how we're going to really try to capitalize on that, is with, you know, always having changing inventory so people want to keep coming back. And if they have something else or an event that they want to go to, that they can stop in and feel assured that they're not going to see all of the same stuff that they saw 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So I think that's one of the ways that we're going to overcome that. And the website's not going to change. So there's going to, as often, I mean, it's going to change, but not as often. So there's going to be things that you see in the store too that are going to be unique to Johnstown. So I'm still going to do that. I still want to feel like that striking is something that not everyone will have. So there's still going to be stuff that's going to be unique to Johnstown and clothes that I won't ever even put on the website. And I think that's going to be a cool aspect too for people of this town.
So as you were starting, what was a huge barrier for you? And we'll call this your level up moment, where you kind of hit a wall, and or maybe it wasn't as you were starting out, maybe it was even before you started out with your business, where you kind of, maybe you weren't necessarily ready to accept an opportunity or to be in a position, and then you got ready to then, you know, move your next steps forward.
Yeah, so I would say, granted, we haven't even been open for, I think it's like 2 months almost exactly that we've been open. But I would say that moment probably came before we opened. And I remember I had a week of time where I really wasn't sleeping. And I was so worried about what other people would think. You know, I carry sizes 0 to 22, extra small to 3X. And I'm like, do I have enough plus size clothes? Do I have enough stuff for high school kids? Do I have enough stuff for people my mom's age? Do I have enough stuff for working professionals? You know, and I would literally lay awake at night and sit there, and I'm a sleeper, so that's not me. I would sit there and think like, oh my God, do I have enough things? I'd get on and I'd go with the designers and I'd start ordering more. And my husband was like looking at me like, what are you doing? Like, why are you questioning yourself? And I think that was like my level up moment. That was like, you know, you need to just stop questioning yourself and go with your gut and know that what you're doing is right. And people are going to adapt, and you're going to have that time to change if you have a hurdle to overcome. And that's business ownership. Like, nothing's ever perfect. You're going to have to move as you go and mold as you go and change as you go. And I think that was a big moment for me when I had to say, you know what? I don't care what people think on Black Friday when they walk in. Now I do, but like I don't care like to a
you
much.
Do, right.
Yeah, I don't.
You care, but you don't. You don't.
I don't care to the point I'm going to lose sleep. Like I'm not going to, you know, if I worry too much and again lose who I am in the process, then no one's going to enjoy it. Yeah. So I just needed to stop worrying so much about what people thought and what they were going to think, and stay true to myself. And I think that's a good advice for anyone that's going to open a business or do whatever they're going to do. If you're going for a job interview. Even if it's not being an entrepreneur, even if you're going for a job interview for a job in corporate America, your first job out of college, I think if you don't stay true to yourself and be who you are, you're never going to be successful. You can't pretend to be someone else, or you can't, you know, live this lie or, you know, anything like that. You have to be true to who you are to ultimately find success. And I think that's what had to happen to me, was that waking up of saying, like, stop worrying so much about what people think. Of course, I care what people think, but stop worrying so much about what people think, and if they're going to like it, and be you, be successful, adapt and change with you know, roll with the tide in a sense. Like when something comes in that you need to kind of tweak or adjust, do it then.
Right. I think there's a couple of people out there that say this, but you don't always necessarily have to go for perfect. You just go for really good, because like if you go for perfect every time, then it's just going to stress you out. You're never going to be able to please everybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's really important to have that self-confidence that, you know, whatever happens, happens. Because like you said, I mean, anyone started the business. I know when I started 814 Works, I had this little time period before we opened up, that same deal. I was like, I started to actually have doubts. I was like,
doubt yourself.
What this, what that. But, you know, you do all the research and all that. It's just, I think it's just a human emotions type thing where you just think, you always had those doubts deep seated, and you just have to plow forward.
So when I was in management and pharmaceuticals, I interviewed a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people. One question that I would ask them had to do with perfect. And I said, would you rather be on time and really good, or 10 minutes late and perfect? And it's a very interesting statement, because a lot of people are like, well, I want to be perfect, so I'll be the 10 minutes late, and it doesn't matter. But then you think, okay, if I'm on time and really good, perfect's relative. So what's perfect to you, Travis, might be different than what's perfect to me.
Exactly.
So perfect's a very, to strive for perfection. What is perfection? Perfection in everyone's eyes is really different.
Yeah.
So that was a question that I always ask people, and there's really no right or wrong answer to the question that I asked. It was more along your reason to why. Because my next question was, when they said the answer, I was like, well, why? And then I saw what people would say.
Mm-hmm.
So and that is true. It's perfect is very relative, and that's kind of how I was before. I was like, I want this to be perfect. Like, there's no such thing as perfect. Like, there's no such, like, your day is never going to go perfect. On Black Friday, what our two big mistakes were, this is kind of funny, and thank God it happened to two of my friends from college that I cheered with. One lives in Pittsburgh and one lives in town here. She actually pitched with her twin cheerleading, so thank God it was two people. We gave them, they tried on the sample shoe, and we gave them one shoe in the box. So they went home and they only had one shoe in the box. And I said, well, thank God it was people that we knew. So then I had to make a little note, like, up front for all the girls that were checking out, like, make sure both shoes are in the box and they're the same size. Because my friend, she teaches at Ferndale Elementary here, and she went to put on her shoe, and she sent me a picture. She's like, I have one boot. And I'm like, And then it happened to one other person, my friend from Pittsburgh. So awesome. we kind of giggle about it now, but there's no such thing as a perfect.
No, and I think that's why you want to invite your friends. And I know we send out the LevelUp while it's still in the edit phase to all our friends, because those are the people that, if there's a mistake, you want, as a business owner, you want to hear about it, and it's better to hear from somebody that won't judge you for it.
I'm in with Toastmasters. And just me studying right there, in Toastmasters we have a grammarian and an oct counter where they jot down